It's come to my attention that a lot of these videos in this series have been bummers. This video isn't a bummer, but it tells the story of one of the hardest friendship lessons I've ever had to learn. If you've watched the other videos in this series, then you already know that I didn't have a lot of friends as I entered my second year of grad school. Everyone that I've been hanging out with had graduated and gone, and I didn't click particularly well with most of the students in my own year. I hit it off with some of the first years, and none of the three of them finished the program. The first of these friends we'll call Lady. We had an elective together, so one day before class I walked up to her and started chatting. I learned later that I was the first second year to give her the time of day, which is crazy since she was super nice and had a lot of interesting things to say. I don't know if it's because she was a little bit older than the other students or because she had a different kind of vibe from them, but whatever it was, I always liked hanging out with her, and we're still friends on social media. Anyway, she wasn't happy in DC or in this program, so by the end of the first semester, she'd enrolled in a PhD program in Idaho and was moving back to a place that made her a lot happier. This happened 2 more times that same year. The second friend, Haley, hated DC, was tired of her classmates' cattiness, and just wanted to go home to Boston. One day while we were walking home, she was agonizing over the fact that she couldn't move back to Boston at the end of the school year because her lease wasn't up till August, and I asked her point blank if she would pay $3,000 to not have to live in DC this summer, and she said yes. And it was like opening the door of a birdcage as she realized that just because you've leased an apartment doesn't mean you have to live there. You can go other places. Realizing that, she made plans to go home and left at the end of the first year. I also follow her on social media, and she also seems to be doing a lot better. My third friend, Thea, started the program because she thought that museums would be a cool place to work. But when it came to studying museums, she found that she hated all of the theory that you have to know to be a good historian and museum professional. I haven't done a theory video in a while, but if you look back at Lens or the museum body problem, you'll know that you have to like theory in order to get this degree. Anyway, she figured out that she'd much rather work in a library than a museum, and that's amazing. I couldn't be happier for her figuring out what makes her happy. It can be really hard to say goodbye to your friends, especially when you don't have a lot of them. But it's also really hard to see your friends sad, stressed, or unfulfilled. Every one of these friends is doing better now than they were when I first met them. I see their new marriages and degrees and pictures with friends, and while I sometimes miss their company, I wouldn't have it any other way.